A Hennepin County jury just issued a multi-million-dollar verdict in favor of a man who was run over by a Metro Transit bus and suffered life-changing injuries. But the total that he was awarded is deceiving. Kent explains what happened in this case and why the victim is just going to get a fraction of what the jury said he actually deserves.
Catching a bus in the Twin Cities comes with a basic set of expectations.
The Metro Transit rules require bus drivers to accommodate all potential customers. If you're at the bus stop, they got to let you on.
Attorneys Cole Dixon and Aaron Aiken say that failed to happen at an eastbound stop at Lake Street and 3rd Avenue South in Minneapolis back in February of 2023. Bus cameras show that as one man boarded the bus, their client, Chris Swickard, entered the picture and approached the bus.
He was maybe 5 feet from the door, and the bus driver admittedly saw him, shut the door, and then sped off right away.
A split second later, Swickard's life changed forever.
My client attempted to get the bus driver to stop. He never stopped, and then the motion of the bus knocked him to the ground, and it ran over his leg.
Did the bus driver give any reason for not waiting?
He claims that he did not know my guy wanted to get on the bus. That was the whole thing. He didn't know, even though he was from me to you away when the door was completely wide open.
Even after running over his leg, the driver continued on, leaving Swickard laying along Lake Street in the middle of winter.
He had fractured ribs, a fractured clavicle, but his left leg was the main injury. He had a fractured femur that required a rod placement from basically his hip down to his knee. And then from the knee down, he had what they called a mangled left limb.
Despite Swickard's lower leg requiring amputation, Dixon says Metro Transit repeatedly denied any liability, so they sued. And on Thursday, a jury awarded $5.3 million in damages, finding that the driver was 80% at fault.
So in this case, the damage award was reduced by 20% because they said he was 20% at fault for the accident.
That should have left Swickard with $4.2 million. But in reality, he'll recover much less because Metro Transit is one of several public entities protected by a tort cap.
So they have a $500,000 cap, and that information's not available to the jury. They don't know that. His medical bills alone were almost $500,000. It's a very small recovery for him at the end of the day, despite being awarded over $4 million.
And because tort caps are set by state statute, they say there's nothing more they can do, at least for now.
Doesn't matter if it's a death case or a horrific injury case like this, the amount that the injured person, the victim, actually gets always going to be limited because of the laws in our state.
The hope would be that that will change at some point, or maybe be increased to a dollar amount that is more realistic in 2025. But that's something that's going to have to require some legislative changes.
In the meantime, they say Swickard is simply glad he's no longer being ignored.
I think we can all agree that justice was delivered on this case. He's been told for 2.5 years that it was all his fault that this accident happened. So I think, if anything, he feels the truth came out.
The driver of that bus, he was new on the job and he actually stopped working for Metro Transit after this incident. He's not responsible personally for paying the damages. So we reached out to Metro Transit for a response. Their communications manager sent a short statement to us that said, "We continue to review the findings. We generally do not provide public comment on ongoing legal proceedings." We'll be right back.